Hey, I'm Supats, lifelong solopreneur. Now living my life with only one passion to help solopreneurs to launch their digital products on fast track so that they can be profitable as fast as within 1 week, and they want to scale, they can join the membership. And as a bonus, I show them how they can sell their digital products all over the world using affiliates. Without further delay, let's get started. Welcome to another episode of New Beginning Inspiration for You podcast. Today we have a really special guest, and I want to say you might be having some stereotype impression about real estate agents and how they perform and whatever it is. For example, I had impression that real estate agents are generally in their 40s and 50s and so many other impressions. But when I met actually Kayla, and she, am I pronouncing your name right? Okay. So she totally
Yes.
she totally broke my mold about real estate agents, and she has really energetic personality. But more than that, she focuses on untraditional marketing, which is really non-traditional, and that really impresses me because hey, anyone can find the proven path and just follow that, and yeah, means they can go for a success. But someone who is doing something unconventional and still very successful, and someone who's got started into business in her early 20s, you have a lot to learn from her. So without further delay, let me invite Kayla. So stage is all yours. Let's get started. I want to know about your story, how you got started. So yeah, take it away.
Yeah, sure. Honestly, I when I was in college, I started a marketing job, and by the grace of God, I just excelled extremely fast, and they gave me an opportunity to open up a branch here in Houston, Texas. So I was very young. I think I was like 23, 24 years old. And didn't know what I was doing, but I was super excited, and this was my first time to be over a team. And the crazy part was a lot of people that were under me were actually older than me. So it was a little bit weird, really trying to stand in my own confidence to lead them and make them understand and honestly help them make money. And it was a really big life lesson for me in being a leader and not just like, as you would say, a boss. But I learned so much from that point. But I mean, now being in my 30s, I am really trying to make sure that the younger
You
generation
know,
knows that they can do
sales
that
and
better.
marketing, you really need a tough skin. And it's very hard to get started at that young age because at that
Hmm.
young age, you are so tender, and sales and marketing is not an easy job. Means many people actually they start business and they say, I will do everything except sales and marketing. And your first job was in marketing, means that it's
Right.
so refreshing. So tell me, how did you take that job? Because I know I have two girls, and they were into retail, and every day after the retail, they came home, and uh, they were totally drained out. It was not easy for them to handle that stress. How did you do that?
Yeah, to be honest, I've always had the ambition, and I've always wanted to learn new ways. So it started off with direct TV. Of course, everybody knows that. I know it's kind of fading out now, but I needed a job and I need to make money. So I applied for this job. They told me that, okay, so you're gonna stand here in Best Buy and Sam's and all these different stores, and you're gonna sell direct TV. And I was like, okay, cool. So we kind of went through a training program, but I'm gonna be so honest. I felt like the training program was bonkers and didn't make sense. And so, I had a trainer that honestly, the trainer would just like leave me there, and they wouldn't even like, they would like stay with me for like the first 2 hours, and then they would just like be like, oh, I'm gonna go to lunch, and then they just wouldn't come back. So I kind of had to teach myself and have, that's when I started learning that I have to self motivate, because a lot of times I kind of thought if they're not here, well, I might as well not be here either. But I think once I started putting my own spin to it, I'm not an introvert. I'm definitely an extrovert. So I can talk to anybody. And I remember the sales pitch they wanted us to tell everybody was, what was it? I think the first thing you're supposed to ask people is, hey, what do you use for, who's your TV provider? And people were so annoyed by that question. And so I switched it up, and instead of asking just to get
Oh,
people to
that's so
stop, I would
cool.
just give them a
Oh, yeah.
compliment.
Everybody loves
Somebody walking
compliments, and
by, I'll be like,
hardly
oh,
anyone
hi.
gives compliments.
Yeah,
So
so
that is a great idea.
everybody loves it. Yeah, so I mean that's really how I got started, just to kind of get people to stop and listen to my pitch. And during that time as well, I learned that a lot of people, when they hear no, they get discouraged. But we started learning that no's get you closer to your next yes. So every time, I kind of had a little journal, and I was marking down every person that said no, I'm not interested,
Next
and
one
I was
will be
excited.
yes.
So I was
Yeah.
like, okay, well, I'm one more no closer to my yes.
Yeah.
Right, right. And so I think once my numbers started soaring and I was really beating everybody in the office, the managers started looking at me and they were just like, what are you
Yeah,
doing?
it's a numbers game,
So
right? It
it
is a
kind of just started from
percentage.
there.
Yeah, if so many people saying no, so of course there are some people are going to say yes for sure. So it was more like in-store selling. You didn't do
Mhm.
door to door or that kind of selling, right?
Well, I'm gonna be honest. When I got to Houston, I didn't know the market. I didn't know the city. I didn't know anything. And so we were supposed to be in the store, and I can say this now because I don't work with them anymore. But um, I was not getting any sales. People were not as friendly as I was expecting and what I was used to. So actually, me and my partner, we actually got there and started door knocking. So we weren't supposed to, and honestly, the company doesn't know that. But we went to apartment complexes that we knew that they probably needed this service, and we started door knocking. And now that I think about it, that was so dangerous.
Oh
Like
yeah.
we probably could have gotten hurt or something, but we didn't care. We
Yeah,
were just
totally
eager and ready
innocent,
to
means
make sure our
yeah, that's
numbers
how
were
you
staying
got
up.
started. And but I think that really made you tough so that you are ready for
Mm-hmm.
success, because you were paying so much of price, and of course you should be rewarded, and that is what happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So tell me from there,
Right.
how did it shape your business? Because right now you are not doing what the business you got started with. So what do you do now, and how did you come over here? I mean, what was the journey?
So, after I didn't do direct TV anymore, I actually started working at Starbucks, and I was a manager there. And honestly, it just wasn't the same. I'm gonna be real. Like, even though I love Starbucks, I hated the job, and it just wasn't my cup of tea. I met a guy who I remember I was speaking with him and talking with him, and he just kind of opened up the world of real estate to me. And he said, hey, I got this real estate team. I want you to come work for me. And I was like, okay. So, honestly, once again, I'm not condoning this, but I didn't even give my 2 weeks notice. I was like, I'm done. I hate this. I don't like this job. So I started doing real estate. So it wasn't traditional real estate. It was actually real estate wholesaling. And so he taught me everything. He had a big house, and every room was our office. And so it was like a group of us, and we were wholesaling, cold calling. And I think that was probably the toughest job I've ever had, because I've never been cursed out so many times in my life. You're talking about tough skin. You definitely have to have tough skin doing wholesaling. I'm calling people that their family members just passed away, and I'm calling to try to see, can I buy their house for cheap? And that's not a very easy conversation. Some of these people, they were in the midst of losing their home, and I'm trying to see, hey, I want to sell, I want to buy your house for super cheap. And once again, it was very stressful conversations. But once again, I learned how to flip the script and not just feel like a saleswoman, but to feel more so like, let me help you. And more so digging into the pain points and understanding and helping them understand. I'm not here to badger you or
You
get
know,
on
the
your nerves. I'm
wholesaling
here
real
to hopefully
estate,
help
it
your
is a really
situation.
tough market. I remember one of my actually acquaintance, he came to us and he was looking for sleeping partner. So my husband just invested money with him, and he lost that money, and
Mhm.
he had some more. And the first he showed the
Oh,
picture that, oh, it is so lucrative, it is so there,
wow.
and oh yeah, we of course didn't know anything about that, so we just actually invested, and we were just like a sleeping partner. And he came back and said, "Oh, I lost all that money and some more and all." After that, we never got into that field because
Oh,
I think it is not a
yeah.
wise idea to invest something which you
Yeah.
don't know, which you are not familiar with. So real estate wholesale,
Right.
especially, it is a really tough thing. Yeah, because he was
And,
saying that, okay, I'm going to buy 200 houses, then I'm going to
and
make parcels of five houses and sell that, and that is what actually. And he said, oh, it is so lucrative, and I don't know. He might have made money,
yeah.
but he might have showed us, okay,
Mhm.
oh, he lost money. I don't know what happened, but again,
Um,
yeah, it's
oh
just
no, I'm so
experiences,
sorry.
right? So we burnt our fingers. So regarding
Right.
home, some people say owning a home is an asset, and some people say it is liability. What is your opinion?
Ooh, a lot of realtors are probably not going to like me for this answer. I'm going to be honest. It is an asset, okay? But it's going to be an asset if you can afford it. And that's the thing that people want to kind of they want to hide. And so many times I help people all the time buy houses that they're going in with equity, and in about a year or two they can go and get a HELOC, and now they can use their home to open up their business that they've been wanting to open up. So I don't want to act like it's not an asset. Equity, your home's always going to appreciate no matter what. But the issue is sometimes people buy homes and they don't have the money to put furniture in it. They don't have the money to keep up with the taxes. They don't have money to even keep up with the bills. And so that's when it becomes a liability. They don't have money to pay for it when things break down in the home. And so, if you don't have the money to keep your asset up, it's kind of like a business. You can start a business and it can be a great business and thriving. But if you don't have the right people in your business that's running and working, your business can get ran down. And so it just honestly, you have to make sure that you are
Yeah,
financially
that's absolutely
stable
true.
and
I remember
ready for that
actually
asset.
we bought a huge house, like a six-bedroom house here in California, and many of my friends visited, and some
Hmm.
of my friends said, your house doesn't look that big. Your house doesn't look that big. And that other friend told her, till now, whatever big houses you visited, there was no furniture. So you felt that house is big, and here Sue's house is fully
Yeah.
furnished. That's why you are feeling it is not
Uh-huh.
that big because there is a furniture. If there is no furniture, then you will
Right.
see all the empty rooms and you will feel, oh, this is so big. So I didn't say anything. I
Hmm.
had no idea what to say because
Right.
she said, it doesn't look that big. It doesn't look that big. And then other friends told her.
Yeah.
So, no, I understand what you are saying because, yeah, if you're not ready to afford it, yeah, don't go for it. Then I don't know whether you
Right.
deal with the mortgage area or not, but you must be actually aware of it. So, what is the good idea? Whether it is better to pay out the mortgage or to have a mortgage and take tax advantages? What is your opinion?
Okay,
Or
sorry, I didn't hear. So you said, is it
keep
better
it
to pay the
and
mortgage
take
or
the
to
tax
what?
advantages? What do you recommend?
I mean, to be honest, I'm not in the mortgage industry, so this is not financial advice, but I do know as a realtor and just kind of working with different investors, I personally believe that the quicker you can pay off your mortgage, the better predicament you're in, just because you don't want to keep inquiring, like the interest rates. And so I think that's the biggest thing. But I mean, other than that,
No,
uh,
tax advantages.
I didn't
Sometimes
hear the
people
second
take
option,
tax
but
advantages of
yeah,
because
I mean, I
you
would.
have that loan, so you have the tax
Mm,
advantages. So I don't know. So means basically, I
right.
was just asking. Sorry, it is not your field, but I thought it was related, so I just wanted to ask you. And
Okay.
it's not
Oh
like
no, you're
that
fine.
something you hand over to your kids. Okay, I couldn't pay. No, you pay the remaining. Yeah, that is not a good idea anyway.
Yeah,
So yeah, I totally agree with you.
right.
Yeah. So
Right.
there are lots of real estate horror stories I have heard. For example, one of my friends was means he a real estate investor, and he had lots of rental properties, and he couldn't get a tenant out of his property, and I think finally because he couldn't, the tenant was not paying
Hmm.
him for 6 months. He didn't pay, so finally, yeah, he went to court, and
Hmm.
he lost the case. So yeah, the fellow. So finally, the tenant was there for nine
Oh,
months
really?
without paying a single
Wow.
penny and all. So if you hear such stories, means basically then you're scared to invest into real estate. So what is your experience? What can anyone do in such cases?
Right. The biggest thing I can say is first, if you are interested in investing, I would say do your research. I would even say make sure you're talking to people that are currently investing as well, and not just people that used to invest, back in 1985, because it's different. And every 10 years, you're going to deal with different issues. And so, I mean, and also working with the right realtor. I will say that there's a lot of, honestly, everybody knows a realtor at this point. They're somebody in their family, their cousin, their mom, their sister is a realtor. So, I would say that make sure you're working with a realtor that has experience and making sure that you are getting a good deal. I have had people that have bought properties and they went with another realtor. And, I tell them later on that, they buy the property and they find out, oh my God, I didn't know that this was going on in the neighborhood, or the neighborhood is, not a great neighborhood. And it's just like, well, you were working with a realtor who didn't know as well. So, I mean, I always just tell people, when it comes to, like you said, your friend who had a property and they had somebody living in there and, didn't pay and stuff like that, there's ways to get around it. And, you know, I, I don't want to make this seem like this is a realtor problem, but working with the right realtor, I've literally had to deal with two evictions. And mind you, I am not the investor. It's not my property. And a lot of realtors, they won't even answer the phone call. As soon as they get that check, they're done with their client. And so, I mean, I still work with my clients nowadays. I help them find tenants. I help them make sure that their tenants are right for them. And you have to do a clear and clean back um, the looking in their background to make sure that they will be responsible enough to pay and not cause you issues. And so
You
just really
care for
working with the right
your
person and
clients,
having the
and I
right
think
team
that is a
behind you.
really great strategy because then I don't think you have to just go out looking for new clients all the time, because if someone has a really good experience, they can refer. So it is a smart choice and it is a foresight. And people who just
Right.
grab their check and never talk to their clients again, I think that is a sheer stupidity from business point of view. Yeah, that is
Right.
my opinion. Okay, means that is what I would like
Right.
to say. And
Yeah. I always tell people when they first start working with me, I was like, I hope you're prepared to have me as a friend, because I send crazy text messages. Like we just we had the snow in Houston, and I sent all of my clients, rental, buyer, whatever, and I sent them all like crazy gifs while we were all in stuck with the snow. And so, I mean, it just goes beyond just having that professional relationship. You want them
so
to feel like they're
I
family or
remember
a
actually
friend.
when you said about the right realtor, first time when we were buying a house, actually, yeah, we just actually maybe we got some sheet in the mail, and we contacted that guy, and we started working with him, and he showed us the first house, and he wanted us to buy that house. And it was really surprising because that house was not at all meeting our criteria, because that time we were planning to start a family, and that house had a swimming pool. I didn't want a
Mm-hmm.
house with a swimming pool because
Mm-hmm.
um, when my kids young and all, and if we don't
Right.
pay attention, something happens. I don't want my kids to go to the pool or something like that. And he was not even willing to show the second house. This first house I'm
Right.
showing, okay, you should buy it. I said, what kind of service is that? And I really remember, and immediately we stopped working with him. I said, this is not,
Right.
yeah, it was not me. You should find what our
Oh,
needs are. Means we
yeah.
clearly told you we don't want a swimming pool because we are planning to start a family and all. And you're showing us the first house with a swimming pool, and you're telling us, oh, you have to buy it. So, actually, regarding the buying thing, what are the
Mm-hmm.
hacks people can use in buying
Mm-hmm.
their house? Because there must be some hacks. So, as a real realtor, you might be knowing. So, we would like to know.
Oh, let's see the juicy hacks. So the biggest thing is honestly a lot of people hit me up about credit. They think that their credit's too low. So you only need a 580 to qualify for a loan. So that's one of the biggest things. I know it's not really a hack, but it's just information that people don't know. The next thing I always tell people is I always try to push people towards new construction because you have to think the builder has to pay this loan as soon as this house is done. So they are going to be willing to do anything and everything to get you to buy that house. So, I have been able to negotiate some great deals,
Oh, wow.
30, 40, sometimes $50,000 off a price just for them. Yeah, I mean, and once again, I'm not saying I can do this like right now. It just depends what the market is doing. And so, you can, that price is not set in stone. There's other things that you can also ask the builder to do. The builder's usually typically going to give something towards closing costs, typically going to do something towards a low interest rate, like different things. Like, so I would say like new construction is always my biggest thing. I'm pushing people to do that first. If they want to do resale, that's awesome as well. But, another thing you were saying, a hack, making sure that working with the right lender who can help them if their credit's not high enough, who can put them in certain programs that can really boost their credit in the next 2 to 3 weeks. So I mean, it just, once again, your team truly matters. And there was another one that it just lost my mind. It just slipped my mind, but
Oh,
I
okay,
can
okay.
talk
Thank you.
about
I remember.
hacks all day, to
I
be honest.
I wish we knew all this when we were buying our second house. Actually, second house, there was a new construction. It was really great, and I told you the big houses and all, and we were interested in that construction. I went couple of times, but there was so much of demand for those
Mhm.
houses that they started doing lotto. And
Yeah.
every time I went for their release,
Mm.
they increased the prices. I didn't know, means you can
Mm.
negotiate and all. We were
Oh
just
wow.
lucky
Yeah.
that third time I said, I went a couple of times, I couldn't get in. So third time I sent to my husband, I said, you go and you check your leg luck. And he got in immediately. I don't know. He's really lucky. I know he got me. So he's lucky. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So, but we didn't know that we can
Right.
negotiate. We were
Right.
just happy that okay, we got lotto and we got the house. And I wish we knew that before. And again, the second. Hmm.
Well, and I just want to say, well, I just want to throw in there, every builder is different. Some builders, they are very stuck on their price. But once again, have to work with the right realtor to
Actually,
know
another
that,
thing,
this is what
I
we
was under
can
the
and can't
impression
do.
that realtors are not interested in new construction because they don't get the commission. Oh, okay.
Totally not true. So, and especially with all the new NAR settlements, now they're having it where your buyer has to pay you your fee. But almost, I have not met one
Oh.
builder that is saying they're not willing to pay the realtor fee. So, I mean, typically they are going to pay the fee, and then, I just want to throw another thing in there that I recently had a client had an issue with, but when you are buying new construction, you have to understand what is about to happen in that area. And the reason why I'm saying that is because sometimes when you get in super early, you get a beautiful price. But the reason why you're getting that beautiful price is because in the next 1, 2, 3 years, that tax rate is going to skyrocket. And or the HOA is super low and it looks really pretty, but in the next 1, 2, 3 years, it's going to jump, double, triple. And so you have to work with the right people to know like this is what's going to happen in the area. If they're going to put maybe a couple of parks around and a gated, a gate or something like that, it probably won't jump that much. But if they're talking about having a state of the art gym and a water feature and, they're adding a new lake, you are the one who's going to pay for this stuff. So expect those numbers to increase. And a lot of people or a lot of realtors, they kind of dainty this beautiful gym in front of them. They're just like, see, it's a pretty price. Let's get in. And they're not telling them. And so now in a year, they're calling their realtor saying, well, I have to sell because I can't afford it. And that's
Yeah,
not
and
fair. And
another
it's,
thing, actually,
just
good
using
point
your heart
about
there.
new construction is after 15, 20 years, most of the things start breaking down. And then it is a wise idea not to
Right.
repair, it is better to replace. So whenever you get the new construction,
Mhm.
at least you know
Yeah.
that whatever gadgets and gizmos and all they are in the house, they are brand new. So means at least you're set for 15 years or so,
Mhm.
and means after that, yeah. So that is a really good strategy.
Right.
Yeah. So,
Yes, ma'am.
means even as a
Yes,
realtor,
ma'am.
you have to do lots of sales and marketing. So, can you give us some secrets about social media marketing? Because that's a free platform, and sometimes it takes time to catch up.
Right.
But once it, yeah, caught up, you can reap the rewards. And if you spend money on ads, ads can drain your money like crazy. And as a solopreneur, and even I work with lots of budding solopreneurs,
Right.
aspiring entrepreneurs, they don't have that much of budget. Nobody starts side hustle with like a thousands of dollars sitting in the bank, ready to invest into a business project. And at that level, they cannot even go and get a loan or grant or anything. So I would like to know some social media secrets from you.
Well, I have to be honest. It depends on which social media you're talking about. When it comes to Facebook, I always tell people Facebook is more so for your friends and family, and I wouldn't even just say friends, more so people you went to high school with and, school with. Maybe they're back from your community or wherever you grew up. Just reminding them that you're a realtor. So, that's the biggest thing there. A lot of people, they don't know what you're doing, so you just have to kind of keep them and remind them, hey, just let you know, I'm a realtor, I'm a realtor, I'm a realtor, I'm selling. So that's about it for that. When it comes to Instagram, Instagram is kind of a different beast. You have to be very, I would just say Instagram is more so like poised. You have to, it really matters in the effects. It matters with the video. You just can't put a raw video out there. You have to make sure that you are using professional equipment, lighting. It looks like almost like a commercial. That's what Instagram more so is showing. Now, my favorite is TikTok, and I know TikTok is kind of iffy. I know we lost it for a day, and then they brought it back. But with TikTok, I feel like that's the most authentic, and something about their algorithm is getting you in front of the people that are looking for your services. So, the funny thing with TikTok is I can just be myself. I can just talk and say, I can literally say, hey guys, I really don't like the traffic today. Um, and kind of throw in there like I'm a realtor. And then I'll get 3 people who message me and be like, hey, I don't like the traffic today either. And you're a realtor and I'm looking for a house. So I just think that it's more authentic and more people are connecting with people on
No,
TikTok.
no,
And,
no,
and that's
actually, that's
my
my
prerogative. I know
experience
some
too.
people have great success on
On
Facebook or Instagram.
LinkedIn, I have 10,000 plus contacts and plus
Right.
10,000 plus followers. But when I put a
Oh,
post on
wow.
LinkedIn, I get just
Hmm.
very few likes or comments.
Mm-hmm.
Means if I get likes into 2 digits, I will be happy.
Mm-hmm.
If I get comments, if I get 5 comments, I will be happy. I don't know how that
Mm-hmm.
algorithm works. And now even Facebook also, they are
Right.
geared towards more of the
Right.
ads and all. But TikTok, any video I put,
Mm-hmm.
I easily get 200 to 500 views. I think that is really amazing because,
Right.
especially
Right.
for new business owner, budding solopreneur, aspiring entrepreneur, this platform is really fair. That is what my opinion is, my experience is. And Instagram sometimes actually, I remember my
Right.
one reel went viral, but that reel had nothing to do with my business. So it went viral, but then
Mm-hmm.
I really didn't get any, but I didn't get any clients. What is the use?
Oh wow. Well, not right now, not right now. And and that's the thing that I've told people, with TikTok, I think their biggest thing with their algorithm, and just to make clear, I don't know anything about the algorithm, but I really think that they try to pair you or put your video in front of people that have some kind of different connections with you. And so, like I've been telling other realtors or just in business in general, if you are trying to sell a
Oh, yeah.
service, people might not be interested in your service, but they're interested in you. And so let people know, a lot of my videos aren't not even about real estate. A lot of my videos are about food places that me and my sister try out, or a new place I just went because it was a festival, or even I'm big into fragrances. So I'm talking about a new fragrance that I have that I really like. So now somebody who else likes fragrances, they're seeing my videos, but also they thought about buying a house. So now, they come across my videos and more so because they're just like, oh, she has this new fragrance. I'm interested in that. But then they go to my page and they look at my bio and they're like, oh, she's a realtor. Hey, I have a question. And so I tell people, if you really want to get in front of people, the most
Yeah,
people,
absolutely.
sell
Because
yourself, don't
people
sell your service.
like to buy someone they know, like, and trust. And when you are authentic and you are not just selling, people become comfortable with you. And yeah, then eventually, yeah, you can convert them. So, how many TikTok accounts do you have? Okay. And how often do you post?
I only have one. I have been slacking lately, but I was posting every day. Recently, with all this TikTok banning and it might be going away, I kind of stopped because I was like, well, I need to put more energy into my Instagram now. But now that we
Yeah.
have it back, I'm going to put more energy back into it. But I don't believe in the whole you have to post every day or every hour or any of this stuff. I just feel like when you feel, I will say, there are certain times that I think work better for me. When you post in the morning, think about this is the time that people are just waking up, they're getting ready for work, they're usually watching TikTok. When you post around lunchtime, people are going on lunch, they need something to do, they're scrolling on TikTok. And sometime at night, when they're laying in bed, they can't sleep and they're scrolling on TikTok. So those are the three times that, really work for at least me. But other than that, I mean, I personally don't think you have to post every single
Yeah,
day
and
just to get
actually, I had
the
taken a
traction.
course on TikTok, and she mentioned that it's better if you post like 3 times a day. But yeah, sometimes I don't know, means people may not have
Oh,
bandwidth
okay.
for 3 times a day, but at least, yeah, daily might be a good idea, as you suggested. Yeah, sure, that might be a good idea.
Yeah. And just posting at the right times, that's and the thing about it is like I haven't posted in like 2 or 3 weeks, and I'll post a video and I'll get 52,000 views. So it's just like, once again, what are, I always tell people, right now a lot of people are talking about the new president. And so it's like, okay, so if I say something about the new president, more than likely my video is going to get in front of people. So, if I just talk randomly about a bike ride, that I might only get 100
Yeah,
views.
today
And so it just
morning
really
actually,
depends
I
more
was
so
in a
on that.
Zoom meeting, and one lady was telling that now there is a new trend of mass following on TikTok. So you find posts which are mass following, and
Yeah.
then you comment their mass following, and then you check out all the comments below and you select the accounts to whom you want to follow. And she was telling that in one day she got like a 200 followers or something like that. She was telling, she said it takes little time, but it works.
Wow.
And she said this is the latest trend. She said she doesn't know how
Mhm.
long it is going to last, but she said till it is there, just make use of it. So
Yeah.
just today morning only I learned.
And are now are they doing that based
Oh
on,
yeah,
because
yeah.
some
So she
people,
wanted
you
to go
can't go
live, and
live if
that's
you
why
don't
she
at least
wanted
have a
a
thousand,
thousand.
and
Yeah.
then you can't get paid. So that's what. Oh, okay. Yeah, nice. Well, yeah. I mean, I've seen it. I haven't
Yeah.
participated at least yet,
Yeah.
but
So
now I might go do that tonight.
in LA fire, they talked about like what 10, 12,000 structures got destroyed and all, and they mentioned actually some celebrities'
Wow.
houses were untouched. So. I wanted to ask you, means, have you worked with any celebrity? For example, if Beyonce wants to buy a house, if pop culture meets, yeah, real estate agency, what would you say?
Uh, look, I am a huge bee fan. I am all in the beehive. So if she wants to buy a house for me or wants me to work with her, I will drop everybody and work with Beyonce. No, I'm just kidding. I would not drop everybody, but I definitely would. I would love that. It's funny you said that. I actually posted a video a couple of months ago, and I did a video acting like I was showing a house to Beyonce, and so it's just it's funny that you brought that up. But speaking of LA, I've had an influx of California residents have hit me up wondering about moving to Texas. So, I don't know if celebrities are, and I'm sure that celebrities usually have their own private realtor that they've worked with other celebrities, I guess you can say. But I always tell people too, sometimes
But
it's
what if
better to work with
Beyonce is
people who
buying
aren't
her
working with a
first
million other
house?
people too.
Then?
Oh, I'm working with her 1,000%. I will, whatever she needs. Look, I will babysit. I will find a chef. Like if I need to drive her in a limo, I will do
So, what
that.
is
Like
harder?
most definitely.
Convincing a client that they can afford a dream house, or convincing on Instagram that realtors don't just show homes but they take care of many other things? Which is harder?
Convincing somebody that they can buy their dream home, honestly. And and a lot of people have it in their mind that, let me just tell you one big thing. Oh, I'm not married, so I'm not going to buy a house. I'm just going to keep renting in this apartment. And it's like, you don't have to be married. Another thing is you have to make a certain amount of, now you do have to make a certain amount of money, but let's work on that just for your own like financial health, not just to buy a home. So I mean, I have a lot of people who are actually in a great position to buy, but they talk themselves out of it every day. I promise you, like they are literally, they'll wake up and say, I don't know, maybe, actually I just heard the Starbucks down the street is about to shut down. Maybe that's a sign. And it's just like, no, ma'am, it's not a sign. But yeah, I just think that they've heard so many different lies, and a lot of people hear as you say, the horror stories about owning a home, and it scares them. And I'm not going to lie, living in an apartment is great. You can call maintenance to come fix all these things for free anytime. But it's just a part of being an adult, and it's a part of growing, and you just have to make sure that like you are ready for that next step. So just preparing, just like you were in kindergarten once and one day you're going to be in high school. And so, I mean, what do? You make sure that you pass all the tests from first grade to 11th grade. So that's the bigger mindset that I tell people to make sure
So
that they're
what
more
is
so focused
the
on.
myth about buying a home that you love to debunk? Just one major myth you can tell. Okay.
Well, I know I said the credit thing already. Let me see. What's another one? Uh,
Yeah, and you were saying that
I
another
can't. I
thing,
can't
yeah,
think of one right
people are
now.
coming up with excuses. I'm not married, and the yeah means all these are myth, right?
Okay, so let me say that myth. A myth is saying that you can only buy a home with like you or your partner, like your spouse, and that is not true. If you aren't making the right money, find somebody who you actually like and make sure you trust them that y'all buy a house together. You and your sister buy a house. You and your mom buy a house. You and your bestie, you can actually buy a home, and then later on when y'all are in a better financial position, they can get off the deed and off the mortgage loan. As long as you can take care of the mortgage loan by yourself, then they can go buy their own home. And so that's just another little, I don't know if it's like really a myth, but it's a
You know,
secret that
we
more people are
always
starting to
lived
do.
in California, and the part of California I like is that it's a mixed culture. And I'm from India. No wonder I have been here way longer than I have been in India. But still, overall, the culture is
Mm-hmm.
quite open. Means I never had any problem in conducting any business and going around. I never felt racism. Nothing. Everything was super fine. But we were thinking of buying second home in
Mm-hmm.
Florida, and people told me, no, 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 don't go to Florida. There, the culture is not same as California. You will not like it. There is no point you going and living in Florida. Now you are
Mm-hmm.
in Texas, and that too, you have
Mm-hmm.
a great community. You are a woman of color. How did you do that? Because means
Mm-hmm.
I never had any problem over here for anything, but Texas, I don't know, maybe different culture. But how did you become successful as a woman of color and forming a great community? How did you do that?
Well, I have to really say, at the end of the day, I don't want to sell my color. I don't want to sell that I'm a woman. I want to sell that I'm the best realtor for your choice. And so, anytime people try to lead with, oh, I'm going to use you because we're the same color, or I'm going to use you because we're both women, I say no. Like I want you to make sure that you know that I've done my due diligence and make sure that you know that I'm the best choice. It doesn't matter what color and if they're a man or a woman or whatever it is. That I am really qualified to work with you. And, also making sure that I do my part and I am learning and I am taking the CE courses and I am learning things that can help my clients and keeping up with the trends because things in real estate change constantly. And that's with any business. It's always going to change. Life changes. We have different seasons. And so making sure that I am staying top notch and knowing the latest news and knowing what's happening in the market and making sure that I'm an
Yeah,
advocate
that's a really
for
great
my
strategy
client, no
because
matter their color.
yeah, they shouldn't come back and say complain, hey, I gave you a chance and something like that means no, you work with me because I'm the best.
Mm,
Yeah, and if that is not suitable, then yeah. So
right. And and to kind of add on to that, I've had clients that they have came from overseas and they're saying, "Hey, I need to make sure that there's a store near my house that's going to have certain spices or certain food that I like to eat." So I'm now finding those communities for them, and it's not saying anything like prejudice or anything. It's just more so saying like, let me make sure that you are going to feel comfortable and it's going to meet your daily needs to go shop. Like this is something very simple. I had a lady who came from the islands and she was very worried that I can't even remember what it was, but I did my own research and I made some calls to make sure that she was going to be near a place that she can be able to. I think she made her own bread and there was like a certain yeast or something. But either way, like there and just being a realtor for over 5 years now, I know that there's certain communities that, they're predominantly this culture or predominantly that culture. And I know that they have certain stores in certain areas. So I can kind of push them because some people, they want to feel comfortable and they want to make sure that their neighbors look like them. And so, it's just like once again, I'm not going to push that, but I always want to be as honest, and I want to make sure that at the end of the day, in 5 years, when you hear somebody saying, I need a realtor, you're thinking, oh my God, Kayla went above and beyond. She got me in my home that
Yeah,
I
that is a
love to
really
this
great
day.
point
So now I'm
because
going
I
to suggest
remember
her.
the first house we were living in, and it was in the community where there were nearby all the Chinese stores there. So one realtor bought that house just because for his
Mm-hmm.
parents, because his parents can go walking to the Chinese store. And yeah, so that was his idea when he bought that house.
Oh,
Yeah, so
nice.
now I have two kids, and they are starting with their life.
Mm-hmm.
My elder daughter, she is
Oh.
looking for a bigger and better place here in the Bay Area, and my other daughter also, she's
Mm-hmm.
starting her own life with a
Right.
boyfriend and all. So, what suggestion, what advice you can give them, because they are actually young kids just now getting started with their life. They both have yeah set, suitable settled job and all everything. But do you have any advice for them?
Mm-hmm. Now, advice for
Advice
real estate
I
or
can
advice
say
just in
about,
life?
oh, you can give both. Why not? Yeah.
Both. Okay. So for real estate, I'm not sure if they bought yet, but if they are in the market to buy, I would definitely say don't worry so much about the house. Worry more about what's around you, and it's gonna fit into your lifestyle. I've had a lot of people, they buy a house that they love, but their neighbors are not the nicest. It's too far from the places they like, and at this age, they like to socialize. And so, like, how far are your friends? How far is your favorite taco shop? How far is your gym? More so look at things that's going to happen around you. If they're not worried about kids right now, I just definitely say that worry more. I'm not saying buy a bad house, buy a house that you like, but more than likely in 3 to 5 years, their life is going to look way different and they're going to sell, or that's going to be their investment property and they're going to put renters in there. So, that's another thing I tell young people when they're buying their first home, make sure it's going to be a great home that you can either have great equity in 5 years, or it can become a great rental for you in 5 years, just so you have that option. Um, so that's my real estate advice. Just in life, I would say live life. Things can go away, but memories will stay forever. And so I think a lot of people are not living, they're just existing. And so I would definitely say worry more so about the memories you're going to make with your family, because they're not always going to be there, with your friends, because that becomes your family. And, there's so many different things. Every day in Houston, there's a new restaurant or a new activity or a new something that's happening. I know in California it has to be the same way. And so, make sure that you're experiencing things. Learn a new hobby while you're young, and you have the time before you have kids to do that. Just make sure that you are becoming your best self
No,
until you have to worry
no,
about
that is
another
really a great
little
advice
one
because life is
worrying about
for
their best self.
experiences, and that is what you carry with you, and that's really, and you have
Yeah.
one life to live, and you don't want your last write up to be full of regrets. I always tell that Steve Jobs' last write up was full of regrets. Why to become billionaire and then have the last write up
Yeah.
with full of regrets instead of just live your life, create memories. That's a really, really great
Right.
advice. So we are almost actually finishing our podcast, but if I haven't
Mm.
covered any particular point, and if you want to give any parting message, or if you want to tell that where people can find you, of course you said TikTok and Instagram for sure, but so just yeah, means I would like to hear from you the parting message. If I didn't cover any point, just please share right now.
Oh yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, if you're looking to buy a home in Texas, I don't just do Houston, I do Central Texas as well. So, if you're looking to buy a home in the Texas area, or if you just have a question, no matter what area you are in, I answer questions. You don't even have to be my client. I'm willing to answer questions. I love to help people. You can find me at KB. underscore sells, and that's KB as in boy underscore sells SELLS real estate, and that's for TikTok and Instagram. If you're in the Texas area or the Houston area, I would love to take you out to a new restaurant, because, like I said, we get them all the time. And I'm excited to share that we're building a new
Oh,
project,
wow,
me and my
that's great.
family, in the Central Texas area. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah, so we're building 42 townhomes, and we're excited to break ground this year. And, we're looking for investors right now, but we have everything, all the plans solidified with the city, and
Oh,
we
that
have
must be
talked with the
exciting.
bank. And
Yeah.
so we're just really excited for this new chapter. Oh yeah, we're super excited. But it
Thank
doesn't
you.
stop. At
Thank
the end of the
you.
day, I'm getting to help even
Thank you.
more
Thank you
people.
for coming on our
So
New
that's
Beginning
what excites
Inspiration for your podcast and giving yeah, great nuggets, not just about real estate,
me. Thank
but
you for
in general
having
about
me.
marketing, sales, and life. It's amazing. Thank you. Really appreciate you being a guest over here. Keep up the good work. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Sure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you
You
so
too.
much. You have a great day.
Hey, thanks for joining us. We are blessed to have you as part of our community, and whatever way we can help you, serve you, let us know. Please subscribe and let us know how we can help you, what resources you want. We have lots of free resources and also free collaboration joint venture groups you can join and explode your business, because most solopreneurs quit their business before they launch their first products, and I don't want that to happen to you. And that's why we have special launch service where you can monetize your digitals and become profitable as fast as within 7 days. And if you want to scale your business, join our membership New Beginning Success Collaboration, where we'll provide you MRR and PLR products and collaborations so that you can scale your business with ease and effortlessly. And hey, if you want to sell your digitals all over the world, yes, we will provide you affiliates more than 200 countries. So everything is possible. Just live your dream, follow your dream, and whichever way we can help you, do let us know. Thank you and God bless you.